Bengals Fans Trivia Show. This is week 4. It's the last of our first-round contest leading into next week's semifinals. I'm your host, Mike Goodpaster. Right now, I want to welcome in my co-host, Joe Kelly. How you doing tonight, Joe?
I'm doing all right, Mike. We've covered somewhat. Was happy that the Broncos took care of the Steelers, so that made it a little easier to watch the rest of this playoffs. So, it's still tough, man, and just too bad, man. We have to wait 365 more days, man, to get this thing back going so we can get Houday Nation back excited.
All right. Well, let's go ahead and meet our contestants for this week. Remember, next Wednesday, the show will come up. We're going to do it on Tuesday night. We will have Kyle Luby against Scott Wilson in the first semifinal. And then the second semifinal, which I think, Scott, you want to do it on Friday night, will be Sammy Stickler against whoever wins tonight. So first, let me introduce our contestants. First contestant is Candace Gray. Candace, tell us a little bit about yourself.
I am an author on the RBS site, and I'm pretty much, like you guys, obsessed with the Bengals, trying to raise both my kids that way as well.
All right. Our next contestant is Steve. Steve, you want to tell everybody your last name, which I have no clue how to pronounce, and a little bit about yourself?
It's Simmelsberger, and I'm 29, born in Dayton, live in Cincinnati now. Been a Bengals fan my whole life, so.
All right. And our third contestant is Scott Meyer, who is the founder of RealBengalsFans.com. So I assume he will win tonight. Scott, you want to tell everybody a little bit about your website?
Yeah, Mike, RealBengalsFans.com. We have a total of 7 different authors that write Bengals articles, keeping up on current events that's going on with the Bengals team. In addition, the Facebook group, it just hit the 10,000 member mark, which is pretty neat. As far as trivia goes, never been really that good at it, but it'll be interesting to see what happens tonight.
Well, pretty sad that you're already making excuses for losing before the game even starts. Makes you sound a little bit like the Pittsburgh Steelers. So this is how we do it. You'll be asked a question. If you answer it right, you get 10 points. If you miss it, you'll get a multiple choice, which you will get 5 points if you answer it right with the multiple choice. First question, Joe, you want to ask Candace?
All right, Candace, you ready?
Yeah.
All right, let's go. Here we go. Question number 1. Who was the starting quarterback in the Bengals' first ever playoff game?
Who was the starting quarterback for the first ever Bengals playoff game?
The first ever playoff game.
Anderson?
No. Do I give her multiple choice?
Yeah, give her the multiple choice.
Okay, here multiple choice. A, Ken Anderson. B, Sam White. C, Virgil Carter. D, Boomer Esiason.
Carter C.
You got it.
Correct. All right, Andy.
All right.
Good job.
All right, Steve, who replaced Homer Rice as Bengals head coach after the 1979 season?
Forrest Gregg.
You got it. All right, Scott, pressure's on you.
All right.
Good job, man.
Scott, thank you. Okay, Mike,
Joe,
you got
this,
this, or let me get Scott?
I can do it if you want.
No, I can think of one. Okay,
all right.
Scott, name a Bengal linebacker that went to an Ivy League school, Dartmouth College. The only linebacker that started for the Bengals that went to an Ivy League school, and he went to Dartmouth.
I think it's Reggie Williams, isn't it?
Oh, you got it.
You got it.
He's one of my favorite linebackers of all time for the Bengals, so luckily that worked
out.
I
think that was too easy. That was too easy for you, Scott. I get you next time.
Yeah, but we didn't know if it would be or not. Now we can step it up on Scott a little bit.
Yeah, he can step it up.
Oh, great. That's great.
All right. Candace, who
Yes.
is the only Bengal player in history to win 2 Heisman trophies in college?
The only Bengals player in history to win 2 Heisman trophies in college.
Yeah.
Let me a hint. He's the only player in history, period, to ever win 2 Heisman trophies.
Oh, the only player in history, period, to win 2 Heisman trophies.
Yeah, but he was a Bengal, played at Ohio State.
Or Griffin. I got his first name wrong. Griffin.
Yeah.
Yes, you are correct.
Sorry, my nerves are bad right now.
Yeah, you would have got.
You're all right. There's only like 3 million people to listen to this show weekly, I think, Joe.
Right? Nice.
All right. Listen, Joe, I think, are you up here or am I? I'm up, right? Steve?
Yeah.
Who did the Bengals beat in 2005 to clinch their first playoff berth in 15 years?
The Baltimore Ravens.
No. Multiple choice. No. A, Detroit Lions. B, Pittsburgh Steelers. C, Kansas City Chiefs. D, Buffalo Bills.
It's Kansas City.
No, it was the Detroit Lions.
No.
Beat them at Ford Field like 45 to 17 or something. Okay, Joe, you got one for Scott, or you want me to give it to him?
Let me think of something tough.
No.
Name Reggie Williams. What was the name of his dog? No.
Fair, Joe.
Fine.
Now, number one, it probably had to be which dog, but come on, Joe.
Okay. Can you name the 2 starting inside linebackers in the Bengals' second Super Bowl appearance?
I can. I think.
I'm going to
the 2 starting inside linebackers for the 1989 Super Bowl versus San Francisco 49ers down in Miami. Super Bowl 23.
Sheesh. That's a pretty tough one. I'm going to have to go with the multiple choice on that one, man.
Multiple choice.
Yeah.
A, was it Emmanuel King and Leon White? B, was it Reggie Williams and Barney Bussey? C, was it Carl Zander and Joe Kelly? D, was it David Fulcher and Eric Thomas?
I'm going to go with C.
Correct.
And the only reason is because you mentioned yourself, man, and I was like, oh man.
Yeah. So it was C. Yeah, Carl Zander, Joe Kelly. Good job, Scott.
Yeah, that was lucky.
All right.
Thanks.
So after 2 questions, Scott is tied with Candace. So we could have a female win tonight, Joe.
All right.
Which will shame Scott and Steve forever.
No pressure.
No pressure,
All
Steve.
right. Candace, who did the Bengals who led the Bengals in receiving in 1968?
I didn't hear that, sorry.
Who led the Bengals in receiving in 1968?
Who was the Bengals in receiving in 1968?
Who led the Bengals in receiving yards?
Led the Bengals in receiving. I'm sorry.
Yeah, she's got that voice-activated Google, so she's got to get that right.
I got to do multiple choice on this one.
Okay. A, Charlie Joyner. B, Bob Trumpy. C, Chip Myers. D, Isaac Curtis.
I'm going to take a wild guess here and say Myers.
No, it was Bob Trumpy.
Okay, I don't know that one at all.
All right. Steve, Joe Kelly's got your question.
All right, Steve, let's go, buddy. Here we go. Who did the Bengals draft with their first pick of the 1981 draft?
1981.
1981 draft.
Dickie Woods. Nah,
1981. Nope.
Yeah.
Multiple choice. Was it A, Chris Collinsworth, B, Pete Johnson, C, James Brooks, D, David Verser?
Pete Johnson.
Nope. B, nope. D, David Verser, wide receiver.
All right.
Is that Cincinnati?
All right,
Police
Scott.
officer?
All right, Scott. I guess I got one for you. Who was the first Bengal? Who was the first person that played for the Cincinnati Bengals that got elected to the Pro Football Hall of Fame? The first Bengal who spent part of his career with the Bengals.
Just part of his career?
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to say Munoz.
No. You got A, Coy Bacon, B, Charlie Joyner, C, Kenny Anderson, or D, Anthony Munoz.
I go with Charlie Joyner.
It was so hard.
You got it.
That one.
Got it.
Wheat.
You got it, Scott. All right, Joe, you're with Candace next.
Candace. Okay, Candace, here we go. Who did the Bengals draft with their first pick of the 2007 draft?
Who did the Bengals pick in the first pick of the 2007 draft?
Yeah, first round pick of the 2007 draft.
I need multiple choice on that one.
Okay. Was it A, Rudy Johnson, B,
Leon Hall?
Yep, you got it. Leon Hall, you got it.
I knew I thought about it.
Hey, Mike, we should give her maybe the 2-point bonus because she didn't even wait for all the multiple choice options.
Give her 2.5 points on that.
Yeah.
Yeah, but Scott will raise hell. You know what a baby is.
It's just like, I don't know what that was.
I don't care. That's
all right, Steve. What Bengals player was named Comeback Player of the Year in 2003?
I don't know.
A, John Kitna, B, Peter Warwick, C, Willie Anderson, D, Chad Johnson.
Willie Anderson.
No, it was A, John Kitna.
John Kitna, quarterback.
All right, Joe, you got Scott.
All right, Scott. Let me think of a good one.
Hey, Joe, how about this? Ask him. Hey, in 1986, when the Bengals selected you, they selected one other guy in the first round. I think with the 21st pick. Well, just ask that question.
Right. Yeah. Who was the other first round pick in the Bengals 1986 draft besides Joe Kelly?
Gosh. I'm trying to think. I don't think I know that one. I'll have to go multiple choice.
Okay, multiple choice. Was it A, Lewis Phillips, B, David Fulcher, C, Jim Scow, or D, Tim McGee?
Oh, that's a tough one. I'll go with Fulcher.
No.
Tim
McGee.
Yeah, that was my
Tim
second
McGee.
Yeah.
Yeah. David was the third round. Lewis Phillips was the second round. Mm-hmm.
Thank you.
All right, we'll go. Let's see. We got Candace.
Yes.
Who was the former Kansas City Chiefs running back the Bengals signed in 2009 that helped them win the AFC North?
the former Kansas City Chiefs running back that they signed in 2009 to help win the AFC North?
Yeah, he was actually one of the better running backs in the entire decade, or that first decade of the 2000s.
Multiple choice, because I'm drawing a blank again.
Okay. A, Cedric Benson. B, Larry Johnson. C, Jeremy Johnson. D, Priest Holmes.
Benson?
No, it was B, Larry Johnson.
Darn it.
LJ.
All right, Joe, you're up with Steve.
All right, Steve, let's go, buddy. Here we go. Who replaced Bruce Coughlin during the 2000 season as the Bengals head coach?
Dick LeBeau.
You got it. Wow.
Nice one, Steve. Nice one.
Steve getting back in the game now.
Good job, Steve. Well.
All right, so I guess we're to Scott. Scott, who did the Bengals draft in the first round of the 1989 NFL draft?
Who did the Bengals?
I believe he still works for the Bengals in the front office also.
Who did the Bengals draft in the first round of what year again?
Well, actually, the first pick. It was the second round of the 1989 draft.
Yeah, I would say first pick.
The first pick in what year was it? I didn't hear that, Mike.
1989.
1989. Gosh.
Pac-10 guy.
UCLA played the Rose Bowl for him too, I think.
Rose Bowl.
Trying to think. I'm drawing a blank. You guys are going to have to give me the multiple choice.
All right. A, Freddie Childress. Here's a name you ain't heard in a while, Joe. B, Eric Wilhelm. C, Scott Jones. Or D, Eric Ball.
Okay. Could you repeat the?
No, I can't. I do this off the top of my head. A, Freddie Childress. B, Eric Wilhelm. C, Scott Jones. Or D, Eric Ball.
I'll go with B.
Nope. It was Eric Ball.
Nope.
D, I believe.
Okay.
All right, so we actually have a three-way tie for first here, Joe. Everybody's got 20.
Uh-oh.
Oh, dear.
All right.
Wait. Candace has 2.5 points, doesn't she?
If it's a tie, we'll just get the Candace.
Right on.
Steve may appreciate that.
All right. Candace.
All right, Joe, you've got Candace.
All right, Candace, you ready? Here we go. Who led the Bengals defense in tackles in 2000?
Who led the Bengals in tackles in 2000?
Yeah, most tackles.
Tackles in 2000.
Guys, steal this one?
Linebacker.
No.
Linebacker. I'm thinking.
That's a hint.
Yeah.
That's the only line I can remember from 2000.
I got you with multiple choice.
Okay, multiple choice. Was it A, Tom Carter, B, Oliver Gibson, C, Shaquille Spikes, or D, none other than Joe Kelly? 2000.
I like how you put that. None other than Joe Kelly.
That automatically makes me want to say Joe Kelly.
Here's a hint. Here's a hint. Joe Kelly would have been way too old by 2000.
I know, but that's what I said. That automatically made me want to say it just because he said it that way, but I don't know the answer to this one. I'm going to say C, just for a guess.
You got it.
C.
Are you serious?
Yeah, you got it.
Yeah.
Shaquille Spikes, 51. Had a great career.
Spikes. Yeah, he did.
All right, Steve. Who holds the Bengals record for most rushing yards in a game?
Corey Dillon.
Yeah. You got
Good
the
job.
lead.
Good job, Steve. Good job.
All right, Joe, you got one for Scott?
All right, Scott, let me think of a good one, Scott.
Okay.
Who is the Bengals. Who started the most games as a Bengals tight end in the history of the Bengals? And I think I know this one.
Who had the most starts as a Bengals tight end? You said
as a Bengals as a tight end, and he played majority of his career with the Cincinnati Bengals. But he held the record for starting the most games as a tight end before it was broken by Kansas City Chiefs tight end.
Was it Timmy?
No. I'll give you multiple choice. A, was it Bob Trumpy? B, was it Eric Caddis? C, was it Emil Harris? Or D, was it Rodney Holman?
I'm going to say Trumpy.
Oh, man.
No. Rodney Holman.
Rodney Holman, wasn't it, Joe?
Yeah, Rodney Holman.
All right.
Yeah.
Candace.
Yes.
Who was the only? Don't say it like that. Who was the only Bengals selected to the Pro Bowl after the 1992 season?
Who was the only Bengals elected into the Pro Bowl after the 1992 season?
Yes.
Yeah, I wasn't even 6 years old, so.
Don't rub it in, all right? Me and Joe are old as hell. So.
Yeah. Thanks.
Joe's older than me, though.
I need multiple choice on this one, so.
A. Carl Pickens. B. Harold Green. C. Boomer Esiason. D. Anthony Munoz.
Munoz.
No, it was Harold Green.
Harold Green. That's right.
All right, Steve. Joe's got your next one.
Here you go. Steve, who led the Bengals in rushing during the 1987 season, the year before we went to the Super Bowl?
James Brooks.
No. I give you multiple choice. A, was it James Brooks? B, Stanley Wilson? C, Larry Kennebrew? Or D, Ickey Woods? 1987.
Stanley Wilson.
No. Good guess, though. Larry Kennebrew. Big Brew.
Oh.
Brew. 6 feet, 290 pounds, wasn't he?
Yeah, big boy.
All right. Scott, you ready?
Scott?
Sure.
Yeah, I got Scott.
I can't
All right,
wait.
Scott.
Mm-hmm.
Scott, who was the Bengals' backup quarterback in 2003?
I'm trying to think here.
Seriously, Scott.
Yeah. Seriously. John Kidna?
No.
No.
You want multiple choice?
No.
Sure.
All right. Casey Bramlett is A. B, Achilles Smith. C, Carson Palmer. Or D, Scott Mitchell.
Okay. Let's see. I'll go with Scott Mitchell.
It was Carson Palmer. I thought that was an easy
Palmer.
question for somebody that ran the Real Bengals Fans website, but all right.
Yeah.
Joe, you got Candace.
All right, Candace. You're hot, Candace. You're hot. Here we go. Let's go. Who has the most sacks in Bengals history? The most quarterback sacks in Bengals history.
The most quarterback
Scott?
sacks, like getting sacked or sacking?
No,
The most quarterback sacks in Bengals history.
The most
It's Scott.
quarterback.
She writes for Real Bengal Fans, so now you'll see if she actually reads the stuff that's on the website.
And I'll give you a hint. Went to University of Miami.
Sacks in Bengals history. The most.
Was the
No,
third?
I'm thinking.
The third player.
There's an article about it on RealBengalsFans.com.
Third player picked in the 1977 draft. First round pick, third player picked.
Edwards?
Yes.
Wow, I gave you too much. That's pretty good. Yeah, that's good. Yeah.
Oh, my God.
All right, Steve.
That's pretty good.
Steve, this is my favorite Bengal player ever. Who led the Bengals in rushing in 1976?
Stanford Jennings.
1976,
Okay.
brother.
A. Pete Johnson. B. Archie Griffith. C. Boobie Clark. D. Stan Fritz.
Hey.
This is your last question. You're 5 points behind Candace. To stay in the running for this, you have to get this right.
All right. Hey, Pete Johnson.
No, it was Boobie Clark.
Boobie
He was my
Clark.
favorite Bengals player because when I was like 7 or 8 years old and you go to a Bengals game, every time he got the ball, people chant Boobie, Boobie, so I thought that was cool as hell. All right, Scott, this will be your final question. You have 20 points, which means this. You're going to lose. You can tie for second, but Candace has already won and will advance to next week's semifinals. So, Joe, you got a question for him?
Hence my answer being Kidna and Mitchell. But anyway.
All right.
I mean, how am I going to win anyway? I mean, come on, really? I can't possibly go on my own trivia show as a semifinalist. Everybody's going to think it's
well,
fake.
you could, but the fact is, you don't know enough to. So now what we got to do is figure out. Now what we got to figure out, Scott, is if we can actually have you back on the semifinal shows because you lost so badly here.
Wow,
Right,
Scott.
Right. Well, hey, that's fine.
All right,
You
Scott,
still did better than everybody on the first show, though.
Hey, Scott, that's a good excuse to losing to a girl, though.
I wanted to have a girl on the show, but you know, I'm sure these guys are going to still razz me anyway. I'm all for it. Bring it.
Oh yeah, that's it's gonna happen no matter what. So.
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
You got a question for him,
Scott,
Joe?
Yeah. Last question for you, Scott. Come on, man. Finish with a bang. Who replaced Tim Crumry in Super Bowl 23 when he went down with a broken leg?
Oh man,
He was a guest on one of our Bengals weekly shows too, about midway through the season.
Yes.
Gosh, I'm trying to think, man. Crumry was my favorite player of all time. I'm drawing a blank. I'll have to take the multiple choice.
A, was it Jason Buck? B, was it Jim Scow? C, was it Skip McClendon? Or D, was it David Grant?
I'll take C.
No, was Big Daddy David Grant.
All right.
At West Virginia University. Came in and played an awesome game.
Yeah, I had absolutely no idea on that one.
Yeah.
All right, so our winner in first place is Candace Gray with 35 points. Second place was Steve with 30, and last was Scott with 20. We'll never bring this up again, Scott. We'll act like this never happened.
Except for in the office chat.
Yeah, it's fine.
Yeah.
But
don't worry, Candace. We're still going to bring it up. We'll bring it up both shows next week during semifinals and the finals, and probably every show after this.
Yeah.
I think I might have Sammy and Joe on the show just to sit and talk about when it came in last. But
just because I didn't know it was Carson Palmer. Okay.
And that's the one I was like,
Yeah,
seriously, of all the ones, like.
That's the one that got him, and the one that won it for you was Eddie Edwards. So, Steve, I mean, you did a great job tonight. Like I said, I mean, we've had a lot of contestants that got next to nothing. So, Steve, any final words?
Did great.
Appreciate you guys having me on. It's fun.
Did great.
Yeah, Steve.
Did great.
Thanks for being on. You did a great job.
Thanks for being on the show, Steve. Appreciate it, man.
Yeah. Hey, thanks for having me. You guys have a good night.
All right.
You too.
Candace?
Yeah?
All right. Candace, are you good? A semifinal, Sammy Stickler next night.
My phone broke up. I'm sorry. What did you say?
I said, are you good for a semifinal next Friday night against Sammy Stickler?
Yeah. Sure.
All righty. So we will have Candace against Sammy next Friday night, and next Tuesday night, the other semifinal will be Kyle Luby against Scott Wilson. Joe, you got any final thoughts?
Well, hey, Candace, great show. That was awesome. You know, we definitely did better than week one. But it's great to get one of our female Who Dey Bingo fans in here and mix the thing up, and you know, so that was awesome. You know,
thank you.
That's exactly right.
Girl power. Yeah. So you know,
we tried that last week too.
Oh, you tried last week? All right. Well.
It didn't work out too good for Corvette Warren, but she was a fun guest to have on, though.
Yes, she was.
Okay, all right. Well, good deal, and can't wait to see you next week and how you compete in the semifinals.
All right, thank you.
All right, thanks, Candace. We want to remind everybody to go to the Grilling Truth Facebook page, check out all the shows, recent interviews with guys like Jeff Kemp, former LA Rams quarterback. We're going to do the NFL Pick'em show tonight, which will be out Wednesday with myself, Leon Searcy, former Pittsburgh Steeler, former Denver Bronco, Mark Cooper, Matt Andrew Scavage. Joe, if you want to come on the Pick'em show tonight, we're doing it at 11 o'clock. Up to you. Always open for you.
I'm going to pass today because I didn't go to sleep last night till maybe 4 o'clock. Yesterday was the first day I had a cold. I had been in the bed since Thursday.
Oh, gosh.
I didn't get out of bed until, yesterday.
Wow.
So, yeah.
That's understandable, then. Maybe we'll get you on for the Super Bowl show.
Yeah, definitely.
Also, make sure you go check out our sponsors, Gridiron Mo, www.gridironmo.com. Check out RealBengalsFans.com, Scott Meyer's website, and Real Bengals Fans. You want to tell everybody about that again real quick, Scott?
Yeah, just Real Bengals Fan Facebook group, 10,000 members. If you're a Bengals fan, come out and just look up RBF on Facebook groups on Facebook. And the RealBengalsFans.com website, all about the Bengals. We keep it all about the Bengals, lots of articles to read. And then here recently, just yesterday, we put out our first RBF podcast with Sammy Stickler and I, and that's out there on the Facebook group if you want to take a listen to that.
I listened to it today.
Yeah, it was full of ums. I had the ums. And I kept saying, in my opinion. Like,
well, it was your opinion.
Yeah.
That's the first time you did it, though. It'll get better.
Yeah, it wasn't bad.
It's got to go better than you being a contestant on the Bengals trivia show. So.
Yeah, I didn't flub it on purpose. I promise.
We don't think you did.
All right, we'll catch us next week. We'll have 2 shows, the 2 semifinal shows. Hopefully Joe will be able to join us on those. So for Scott Meyer, Joe Kelly, I'm Mike Goodpaster. You've been listening to The Grueling Truth, where the legends speak.